right, so something that I'm pretty fascinated with is the idea of resilience, the plasticity that we have when we are faced with stressful situations, when we're faced with just the environment that we're not comfortable with, things that our brain can do to make us more capable to put up with the ideas of things we're not familiar with. So nowadays in school, because I feel like I'm communicating my message to students, we have a really high pressure to perform well. From our parents, from our teachers, from admissions officers, from our friends, even from ourselves, which I feel is like the most motivating factor. So this kind of stress can often lead to breakdowns, right? We can have that Saturday night where we just end up crying because we have 15 tests on Monday and no way to get the work done. So that kind of an idea is something that I'm trying to prevent, something that I feel like we should all have an idea of how to prevent. So what is resilience? Resilience is kind of a acquired characteristic, which is your ability to bounce back. Your ability to be hit by something, to realize that, oh, I have 3 tests on Monday, but then your ability to work for it, to work logically and not become overwhelmed. It's your ability to combat stressors. Superman is pretty resilient, I'd say. So the history of resilience. In 1973, there was a scientist by the name of Garmerzy. He was exploring the idea of resilience. He created questionnaires, because I mean, neurology is kind of hard to, mood disorders in general are kind of hard to like quantitatively analyze, right? It's how do you feel about this? So he tried to create a questionnaire so he could measure resilience. And that's basically what scientists nowadays use as well. Different questions, 10, 15, 20 questions, that kind of provide a numerical value to how resilient you are. And then additionally, in the past 10 to 15 years, neuroscience research has been done to try and focus on different genes like FOSB and GR2. Different genes that we have no idea what they mean, but just the expression of them provides a scientific basis for how resilient we can be. But I mean, the point is all these scientific research and all this study was done on like people who are born in abject poverty, people who are orphans, people who are faced with like 3 diseases. But I mean, we all have resilience, and in everyday people, resilience fluctuates as well. So here's the concept of resilience. You just go on and you develop in your success, however you want to characterize your life. That's increasing. But you have a huge shock or stress, and you can react in one of 2 ways. You can your resilience can either be built up to the extent where it'll help you rise up and just use that to kind of like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or it can lead to a collapse. And that 100% depends on how strong your resilience is, how much built up resilience you have. Students, I mean, I guess we could say school is the everyday stressor, right, for us. Extracurricular groups can foster resilience, but if you're in 4 or 5 clubs and you manage to become president, then I guess that's 4 or 5 different stressors that are introduced into your life. So in this way, everyday actions test your resilience. It doesn't just mean that, oh, I lost my parent to cancer, but it's the F that you got on that test. It's falling down on your bicycle the first time you rode. Just everything that happens to you can affect your resilience. So it turns into like some sort of Goldilocks dilemma, right? Like, I want stress to help me build up my resilience, but if I have too much stress, then when I collapse. And also, if you're born into a life of like complete wealth and everything's done for you, you have no stressors, right? Your life is a breeze. Then when something actually does happen to you later on in life, then you have no resilience to keep yourself strong. So you have to have the perfect amount of stress and support. Your parents have to be there, your teachers have to be there, and for me, most importantly, your friends have to be there, help support you. I mean, this is junior year, this is the most important year of our high school career. We have to have that support system. So we have to have the right amount of stress. We have to balance out our lifestyle, balance out our work, but also have support to help us maintain our sanity. So essentially what you can do today is what you've been doing your whole life, what your parents have been telling you. Create friendships with the right people. Don't hang out with the kids who are enticing you to go out on Saturday night and drink and do drugs and party and stuff, because that won't just affect your resilience, it'll just crush your life. So make friends with people who, Ray, he'll encourage you to learn some stuff on that Saturday night. Be friends with Kenny, he'll encourage you to not be so skeptical and cynical. Stuff like that. Be friends with Drew, because he'll tell you about some online comic that nobody really cares too much about. But it's these type of things where you encourage yourself to push your limits. You take positive risks. You go out for the band auditions and you try and do your best, even if you might not make it. Those positive risks, which can only enhance your resilience, because that's all we're doing. We're trying to enhance our resilience so that when that future stressor comes, when you don't get accepted to the college you want to go to, you're not overwhelmed. Your life doesn't become just a meaningless, empty vacuum of life. You actually can move on and you can achieve a further goal, another goal. Because, I mean, not getting into Harvard isn't the end of the world. So it's these type of things. You can have humor, surround yourself with people who are altruistic, have good friendships, strong social skills. All these things that we're told of to imbibe in ourselves, to create like a healthy relationship with people, these things are also healthy for ourselves because they can further your own intelligence and your own ability to succeed. There are really 4 different dimensions of resilience, 4 different spheres that like our lives are characterized in. We can have the spiritual one. You can, every Sunday when you go to church, you can speak to your pastor, you can speak to your guru, you can speak to them and have them enhance your ability to be resilient. They can give you advice on things that maybe you don't want to go to your parents to, maybe you don't want to go to your counselor to. You can have emotional resilience. You can talk to your best friend about something. They can provide you with realistic temperance, right? Like, maybe you're not, like there is no way for you to get into that college you want to go to, but your friend can tell you, like, look, here's some other fantastic opportunities you can pursue. This type of realistic temperance that can provide you with a good future. And there's obviously physical resilience. I mean, we're always told, like, eat healthy, exercise 5 times a week. These type of things that we don't realize exactly why we're doing them, aside from the obvious characteristics, but all leads up to this mental resilience, the self-belief, self-esteem, the idea that I can do what I set myself out to, as long as I'm being realistic about it. I have sustained focus. I'm not procrastinating all the time. I'm actually finishing that course I signed up with at MIT. These type of things that we need to follow through with, because you have to hold yourself accountable. Because it isn't just your parents and your teachers that will make you resilient. It all boils down to, will you make yourself resilient? Thank you.